Hi, and welcome to another terribly fun films review. I'm your host through all the terrible craziness, Bobby, and this past Tuesday saw the release of two very important, very different B movies. One was the release of 400 Days, which is the new sci-fi channel movie that got a theatrical release. It has Brendan Routh and Dane Cook, and that's it's supposed to be really great. I did buy it. I have not watched it yet. The other movie was the new film from B-movie god Jim Wynorski, Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre. Does the B-movie legend still have it? Let's find out as we explore why Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre is so terribly fun. The plot of the movie is fairly self-explanatory based on the title. It is about 5 inmates, all female, who are released to work for the day by clearing out tree stumps in this area of a bayou they're trying to pave over for roads and that sort of thing. While there, one of them gets injured. As she's cleaning herself off in a nearby stream, she gets eaten by a shark who can swim through water and dirt. Because dinosaur shark. That's all the explanation you'll be given. So the others get out of there. On their way, they see a woman on the side of the road. So they pull over to try to help her. Turns out it's one of the inmates' lovers, and she's busting them all out. Through complications of sharks that can swim through dirt, they get trapped in a nearby cabin in the woods, along with a few other people who happen to be in the area. That's really about it for the main plot. There are, side plots and character arcs and that sort of thing. But in terms of the actual plot, that's about it. Fairly simple, fairly standard for this sort of thing. But Jim Wynorski, working from a script that he co-wrote with Corey Landis and William Deaver, they really make it a lot of fun. This film is a lot of fun. It's very humorous when it needs to be, but the drama still holds sway, so you still feel an emotional connection and impact when the characters die and that sort of thing. And the ending especially is shockingly heartfelt, and I'm surprised by that. Not because, oh, it's some dumb B-movie, but because up until that point, I didn't realize how invested I was with some of these characters. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've seen the movie, you know which ones I'm talking about. If you haven't, you will discover who I'm talking about. But it's a very sweet, nice ending, and I liked it quite a bit, and I'm glad it happened that way. Our cast of characters, starting with all the inmates first, are Anita, played by Cindy Lucas, Michelle, played by Christine Nguyen, I hope I'm saying that right, Shannon, played by Amy Holt, and Sarah, played by Sky McDonald, and Samantha, played by Tabitha Marie. She's the one who gets eaten early on in the film. The two prison guards with them are Carl, played by John Callahan, and Sam, played by Steve Goldenberg. And then, investigating the convicts' escapes are the detectives Kendra and Adam. They are played by Tracy Lords and Corey Landis, respectively. The lady who helps all the convicts escape is named Honey. She is Anita's partner, and she's played by the delectable Dominique Swain, who I love to see in everything. I love her. So that was a pleasant surprise. Most of the acting is really good, with one very sad exception. Let's do that one first. Cindy Lucas as Anita isn't really good or convincing. There's a scene in the movie The Rocketeer where Jennifer Connelly's character, an actress, is just playing background extra in this cheesy Errol Flynn-like swashbuckling film, and the lead actress keeps flubbing up and not doing very good because she looks like she's acting. Throughout this entire movie, Sydney Lucas is like that. She looks and feels like she knows she's acting, as opposed to actually inhabiting the character and being that person for the duration of the movie's runtime, which is like 80-ish minutes, 83 minutes long. And it's really frustrating because even though the character is written to be a little stupid, not a complete idiot or anything, just definitely not the sharpest one there. You don't buy into it. I don't, like, what does Honey, who is quick to anger and very temperamental, but smart, and does have a plan. She's the one who breaks these people out, and she's the one who comes up with the plan, one of several plans, to try to kill the sharks to escape. What does she see in Anita? Sadly, I can't answer that question, which does mean that portion of the movie doesn't totally work. But Dominic Swain as Honey is really good. It's fun to see her play this much of a badass. Normally in her roles, she's either stuck as the thankless love interest for other characters, or she does lots of odd comedies like Tart and The Smokers, where she's good in them, but she doesn't really get to be the action heroine. And here she does, and she nails it, and it's great fun to see. So that's really good. As the lead detective, Kendra, Tracy Lords is also a lot of fun. She gets to be a little more laid back than I'm used to seeing her in films. Still playing a very serious character, but one that is quick-witted and doesn't mind joking with her coworker. And it was fun to see her a little more relaxed than I'm used to seeing her, especially if you compare this performance to her on Princess of Mars or something like that. Kristen Wiig as Michelle is really, really badass and a lot of fun. Her line deliveries are fine. They're believable enough, if not necessarily stellar, but she really does hold her own in the action scenes against the sharks. She's probably one of the best in terms of interacting with the CGI sharks. She really does make you believe that they're there. So that's good. Amy Holt as Shannon is very much the heart of the group, and she plays it that way. There's a really interesting scene where she discovers that the prison guard didn't give her live ammo and the gun they were using to escape. And she goes, "You didn't trust me either?" And the warden goes, "Honey, I've read your backstory. I knew you'd never fire it." And right then, her whole character is revealed in a new light, and it's so interesting and engaging to see. Because she's been playing it as somebody who kind of puts up with a lot of stuff, even though she's clearly unhappy about it, but it's because she believes it's the right thing to do. So to have that reveal and the way it's played really works for that. Sky McDonald as Sarah Mason is fine, I guess. I don't remember a thing about her. I watched this movie when it came out on Tuesday, and I don't recall anything at all about her, so I don't remember her being bad, so she must at least be okay, if not that memorable. As the two guards, Carl and Sam, John Callahan and Steve Goldenberg are a lot of fun, and they do bring a lot of gravitas and weight to their roles, and they do make you really care for these characters and for their plight of not just the sharks, but also sort of being kidnapped by the convicts until some other things happen to where they team up. So that was a lot of fun. The music was really good. The score comes from Chuck Serino, and the Sharks theme when they appear is really enticing and interesting. Happily, it didn't remind me of the Jaws theme at all, which does happen a lot in low-budget shark films. So that was good. But the highlight is a sequence where they're trying to escape by this raft by pulling on a rope near the end of the film. And the music there, to find out if they make it or not, is really triumphant and fun and building to this big epic moment. And when it comes, it's very, very satisfying. So that's nice. The cinematography and the editing by David Rakoczy and Tony Randall respectively, also quite good. The editing is very standard for this sort of thing, but it's definitely not bad. There are no weird lags or odd jumps or anything like that. No major continuity issues I noticed. And the cinematography is really good, especially for a section where they're in a cave. It's really well lit, and you can really see all the characters and the sharks and everything fairly nicely. Even though it's obvious sometimes they're using just the same patch of wall for, oddly enough, the raft sequence I was just talking about. But even that didn't bother me, because I'm still like wrapped up in the story and watching everything and having fun with it. So that was good. And finally, the special effects on the sharks themselves, which come from Ryan P. Wilson and his whole team, which involved Michael Sun, Nigel Sekaran, Justin Rader, and Gerald Feather. The sharks have a really cool design, which I would hope for, considering this is a shark attack movie of sorts. They are sharks, but they have almost stone-like bits on their fins and whatnot that are sort of bulbous and very hard, making them very tough to actually kill. And while it might sound odd, it looks better than I'm describing it. CGI-wise, in terms of not the details, but in terms of how textured and that sort of thing, it's every other standard B-movie you'll see lately. So it's good, not great. But again, most of the actors do a really good job of integrating and acting against the sharks. So even if it's not 100% believable, you still buy into it. And it's still a lot of fun. Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre. A lot of fun. Not necessarily amazing, but its good points definitely outweigh its bad. And I think with a different actress in the Anita role, there'd be very little bad about the whole film. Really good lighting, solid action, decent effects, and acting that really makes you buy into the craziness going on, leads for a good, fun time. And this means that Jim Wynorski, who's been working longer than I've been alive, still has it, which is very exciting. It's always sad to see one of your movie heroes go down. And for some background information, William Deaver, aka Bill Deaver, is part of the Indy Pop Con group, and that is coming up in next month or July. I don't quite remember. You should look into it. If you can make it, you should definitely go. It'll be a great time. I know Kevin Boshaler of Saturday B-Movie Reel will be there, and he's doing a Night of the Comments event, and he's super stoked for that. So look into it. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm Bobby, and I'll see you next time.